Hello everyone, today I'll be explaining the task 5.3D, that is Morse code using GUI. Coming on to the hardware required, we'll be using Raspberry Pi 4, breadboard, an LED, male to female jumper wires and a resistor. We will be also using Raspberry Pi adapter, and for the software part we will be using VNC viewer and an IDE for Python development. Coming on to the circuit diagram, the cathode of the LED is connected to the ground of the Raspberry Pi and the anode is connected to the resistor, which is further connected to the GPIO 15 pin. And here is the schematic diagram.
Now, coming on to the code explanation, I have again used TickInter to make the GUI for this task. At first, I have imported the TickInter such that I can use the TickInter to make the GUI. And next, I have imported the GPIO library to access the GPIO pins of the Raspberry Pi. And next, I have imported the time library to use the delay function. I have used a dictionary to define the characters correspond to their Morse code. Here the characters are the keys and their Morse code is the value. Here is also the dictionary for the symbols. Next, I have set the mode to the BCM. We can also use board pins instead of BCM pins. Next, I have set up the 15 number pin for the LED and labeled it as dot output. Next, I have made the function to blink the LED with the Morse code pattern. Here I have given a parameter named text, and I have used the for loop to iterate throughout the text given by the user. And I have passed the conditions. The first condition is that whenever the user enters empty space, there should be a delay of 2 seconds. Else, I have created another variable named pattern, and this I have stored the input given by the user by using the dot get. I have converted that input to the uppercase, as if the user enters the input in the uppercase, it should automatically convert those characters into the uppercase. And for that pattern, I have used another conditions. These are if pattern, and I have used another for loop to iterate throughout the pattern. And if the pattern is dot, the LED blinks for the 0.3 milliseconds. And if the symbol is dash, the LED blinks for the 0.6 milliseconds. And next, I also used time dot sleep for 0.5 milliseconds. That is for the pause between the symbols. That is the time between the dot and dash. Next, I have again used time dot sleep for 1 seconds. That is for the pause between the characters. For example, the difference between the time of A and another character, let it be B. And next, I have created another function named send Morse code to create the GUI. Here I have declared another variable named text, and I have used .get to get the text entered into the entry widget. Next, I have blinked the same text using the blink Morse code function. Now coming on to the next function, I have made another function named validate input to make sure that the user enters the 12 characters, not more than 12 characters. And next I have created the object to make the window, and I have used title to give the name to the window. Next, I have also used .configure to set the background color of the window to light gray. Next, I have also used label, and I have wrote a text, enter a word that is to be 12 characters, and I have set the background of that to the light gray. And next, I have used .pack to add the label to the widget. Next, I have used another validate entry to register the validate input given by the user. This registers the validate input function with the GUI to validate the input in the entry widget. And next, this creates an entry widget for user input and specify the validation function to be used. And I have added the same variable to the widget using the .pack. And now I have made another button and given the text send Morse code, and I have passed the command send Morse code, that is our function, and I have set the background to the gray. And at last we have gpio.cleanup such that whenever the user closes the window, it cleans up the GPIO configuration to its initial state. That is it for the code explanation. Thank you.